the tomb. While she was still crying, she bent over and she looked in the tomb. And she saw two angels there, dressed in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been, one at the head and the other at the feet. Woman, why are you crying? They asked her. She answered, they have taken my Lord away, and I do not know where they have put him. She turned around and she saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Woman, why are you crying? Jesus asked her. Who is it that you're looking for? She thought he was the gardener, so she said to him, if you took him away, sir, tell me where you have put him, and I will go and get him. Jesus said to her, Mary. She turned towards him, and she said in Hebrew, Rabboni, which this means teacher. Do not hold on to me, Jesus told her, because I have not yet gone back up to the Father. But go to my brothers and tell them that I am returning to him who is my Father and their Father, my God and their God. So Mary Magdalene went and told the disciples that she had seen the Lord, and she related to them what he had told to her.
I've seen the Lord! I've seen the Lord! I've seen him! He's alive! Jesus! I can't even believe it! Jesus Christ is alive! It's a miracle! It's a miracle! He's risen! No, really, he has! My name is Mary Magdalene, but that's not what's important. What's important, what you have to believe, is he really is alive. He was dead. I saw him for myself, but now he is risen. It's a miracle. He's everything he said he would be. But you might not know about this Jesus. Let me tell you about my encounter with him. Let me tell you how he has changed my life. You see, Jesus first found me 3 years ago when I was in my hometown of Magdalene. I was living a life of sin and shame. I had made some bad choices, got caught up in the wrong kind of crowd. It was almost like I was possessed or something. I mean, I knew I shouldn't have been living like that, but I was helpless to change. But that's when Jesus found me. He turned my life around. He healed me from these demons, from this lifestyle, from those choices I'd been making. I owe my life to him. There was nothing left for me in Magdalene except bad memories, so I left and I followed him. For 3 years, I followed him. I listened to every word that he said. I witnessed every miracle that he did. And I did my best to try to help. I cooked for the guys and I washed their clothes. But in those 3 years, I learned so much. I grew in my relationship with Jesus. At least that was until about a week ago. And then everything changed. It was Thursday night. Jesus was praying in the Garden of Gethsemane. And that's when they came to arrest him. Arrest him like a common criminal in the dark of night. I followed where they took him. First to the high priest's house, and then they took him to Pilate, the Roman governor. His trial was a joke. Pilate only cared about his own power and his own reputation. He didn't care about doing the right thing or about truth or justice. You know what he did? He actually let the people decide who was going to live and who was going to die. And I yelled at the top of my lungs, I said, "Kill Barabbas! Let Jesus go!" But I wasn't loud enough. The crowds had already been brainwashed by the religious authorities. I mean, some people will believe anything they say, even if it is lies. They convinced the crowd that Jesus was dangerous, that he had to die. And so when Pilate sentenced him to death on a cross, I felt like a knife had stabbed my own heart. That Friday was awful. When I saw Jesus, he had a black eye and whip marks on his back and a crown of thorns that had been pressed so hard into his head that there was actually blood dripping down his face. I could hardly watch, but I couldn't leave. They made fun of him, humiliated him, mocked him. But you know, he never cursed them. He never was angry at them. His eyes were just full of love. You know, like those lambs that they lead to slaughter, their eyes are just full of innocence and love. It was 6 long, grueling hours that he was on that cross. It was almost a relief when he took his final breath. I saw where they laid him. I saw the tomb where they had put him. And they rolled this humongous stone in front of the tomb, and they put guards at the entrance. It was so hard to believe that the man who had given me back my life was now dead. That's when I had to go home. You see, it was Sabbath, and at sundown, you're not allowed to do any work, so I prepared the spices and the ointments in order to preserve his body, but I didn't have time to do anything, so I had to wait. 36 long hours of waiting until I could finally go to the tomb early this morning. I didn't sleep much last night, so I got up before the sun. And I packed all my things that I needed, and I took off toward the tomb. And you know, when I got there, I was kind of surprised that the stone was already rolled away. But all right, I figured maybe Susanna or Joanna or Mary, his mother, had gotten there before I did. So I went to the entrance of the tomb, and I peeked inside. And my heart skipped a beat. There was no one there. Nothing there. He wasn't there. And I was filled with terror and horror. Can you imagine? Somebody stole Jesus' body. The last great insult to this innocent man. And I know it was the religious authorities. They came, or they paid someone to steal his body so that his followers couldn't come and remember him at that tomb. As if he never existed. Just disappeared. I was hysterical. I didn't know what to do. I did the only thing I could do, which was run and tell the disciples. And I ran as fast as I could, and I was yelling, and I was crying, and I burst through the doors, and I said, "They've taken away my Lord, and I don't know where they've put him." Peter and the other disciples, bless their hearts, they ran as fast as they could to the tomb. But they saw the same thing I did. Nothing. An empty tomb and the grave clothes lying there on the floor. There weren't any angels, there were no trumpets, there was no hallelujah chorus, there was no dazzling white clothes. There was just a cold, dark, empty grave. A boulder that had been pushed to the side. And some linen cloths that used to be wrapped around the body. So Peter and the other disciples went back to tell the disciples the sad news. Figure out what to do next. But I couldn't leave. was the last place that I saw Jesus, was in that tomb. And so I just stayed there, and I cried and I sobbed and I wailed because there was nothing else to do. And through my tears and my swollen red eyes, I glanced into the tomb one more time. But this time, someone was there. It was like two beings, like two angels, who were sitting right there where Jesus' body had been. And they asked me, they said, "Woman, why are you weeping?" Really? Why am I weeping? I mean, what I wanted to say, you want to know why I'm crying? I'm crying because they nailed him to the cross. I'm crying because they put him in a tomb. I'm crying because I lost the only thing in my life that ever made sense. I'm crying because he's dead. I'm crying because he's gone. That's what I wanted to say. But the only words that came out were, "They've taken away my Lord. I don't know where they've laid him." And through my tears, before these angels, these beings could say anything back to me, I heard something behind me, someone. And even though tears were streaming down my face and my nose was running and my eyes were swollen with grief, I turned around and there was a person, a guy. Now who's going to be in the garden at the crack of dawn? I know, the gardener. The gardener is going to be there. He's got to be tending. You know what? Maybe the gardener saw something. Maybe he knows something. Maybe the religious authorities paid him to take the body away. And so I went to him and I said, Sir, if you've taken the body away, if you know where it is, then tell me and I'll go and I'll take it back. I just wanted Jesus. I just wanted him close, even if he was dead. But the gardener kind of jolted me out of my hysteria and out of my self-wallowing pity with one word that he spoke. How did you know? He said my name. He said, Mary. Mary. And I knew that voice. I knew that tenderness. I've been listening to that voice for 3 years, but how? It couldn't be, could it? Is it possible that Jesus really could be alive? Here? With me? It was too good to be true. There is no guilty gardener. There is no stolen body. There's only a risen body. He is alive, and if he is alive, that means he wasn't just a good guy. He wasn't just a great rabbi. He wasn't just a friend, a teacher. He really is everything he said he was. He really is the Messiah, the Lord, my Lord. And I was so overwhelmed with joy that I went to him. And I just wanted to hold him. I just wanted to feel his warm body and his tender touch once again. But he wouldn't let me. I wanted to stay in that garden forever, but Jesus had something else in mind. He said I had a mission. He said that I had to go and tell other people that he was ascending to his Father, to our Father, to his God, to our God. And I hated to leave his presence, but I had to obey him. And so I set out and I ran even faster than I did the first time. And I found the disciples again and I burst through the door again. But this time I said, I have seen the Lord. And I told him everything that I've just told you. I have seen the Lord. Have you seen him? Have you seen him? Have you had a personal encounter with the risen Christ? Have you seen him at your work, at your school, at your church, in your home, with your families? Have you seen Jesus at work in your lives and in this world? Have you seen him? Have you? Because if you have, then you too have a mission. You too need to go and tell others. I mean, the empty tomb is great, but that's not the message. The message is that we have seen him, that we can personally testify that Jesus is alive. He is the Messiah. He is everything he said he was going to be. We have to go. We have to tell others that we have seen the Lord, that Jesus has changed each and every one of our lives. That's what people want to know. They want to know the difference that Jesus makes to you. They want to know that you have seen the Lord. I have seen the Lord. Say it with me. I have seen the Lord. I have seen the Lord. So go. Go and tell others, and I have to go tell others too, that you have seen the Lord. Hey, I've seen the Lord.